Hi, Sagittarius. Welcome to your February 2024 General Tarot reading. This is Raina, and I'm a Sun in Sagittarius, so this will be fun to see what's coming up for us, and also to use my trusty Morgan Greer deck, although this is a new version of it because I lost one of my cards. This is a smaller deck. It's like a mini deck. So, but it has the same images, and I love those images. Oh, what a great first card, the Fool card. The month of February for all signs is a month that is total green light territory because all the planets are direct, all of them, even the outer planets. As I record this in January, the only planet left to go direct is Uranus. And actually, Uranus is connected to the Fool card. So you could say, even before I put out the rest of the cards, that when Uranus goes direct, because some of you are going to be watching this in January, that's when all systems are go. I've been getting this card for all three of the readings that I've done thus far. So that's very interesting. And even this, I've gotten this for a couple of readings. Okay, pick an additional card. All right. All right, all right. Oops. Okay, let's see what we got here. The heart of the matter is the Fool card. This is the very first card of the deck of the major arcana. This is 0 point, meaning that this is the womb of creation. This is where it all begins. This is where it all starts. And so for those of you who want to reinvent yourselves, this is a great month to do so. We even have, in the past position, we have the Emperor, and this is a card associated with Aries. I think it's more like the energy of Capricorn, but regardless, both of those signs are cardinal signs, and so it is about taking charge. And it's number 4, so it's taking charge of your life in terms of organizing and getting your house in order. So some Sages, this may be something that you've recently done, and now it's time to embark on your new journey. Like, where is this going to take you? And you don't know, but it's almost like not caring with the Fool card. It's about doing your own thing and not having to kind of follow some script that somebody else laid before you. And that can be in anything. Like if you want to start a business, you may get this advice from other people. Maybe it's even sometimes people will tell you, oh, you have to do this to have a business or something. And it's not true. It's absolutely not true. It might work out that way, but there are so many different ways to do things. So this is why I'm saying that you may be at a point where you want to do things your own way. And there's also kind of like this nonconformist vibe that's connected to this as well. The higher message is the 8 of Swords. So there, the word that came to my mind was anxiety, but then I thought to myself, no, wait, that's supposed to be the 9 of Swords. But actually, sometimes the meanings of these cards can overlap, and I often think about that with the 8 and 9 of Swords in terms of feeling like you can't move, like you can't do something for some reason. and you may want to do something, but you feel oppressed, you feel trapped. Sometimes what I interpret with this card with the Eight of Swords is that this is coming from within ourselves, but it can be things that are projected from others, like parents or uh, teachers, society. It can be things that we kind of internalize because of what, the influences that we're getting. But it might even be a sense of duty. So if you feel like, well, I want to I want to break free from this relationship, but my children, it would be so bad for me to do this or something, and you feel like you have this obligation, but it still makes you feel very oppressed at the same time. Then that can be where the conflict is arising. And so with the position of the Eight of Swords, this is the higher message. So it's not meant to be just interpreted like a normal card, but to look at as a lesson. And the lesson is, how do we give away our power to other people's opinions? If it happens when you're young, it isn't really the same thing, because you don't have the awareness to know that you have that option, that you don't have to believe everything that your parents tell you. So it's different. But when you get to be a certain age and you have a choice, why do you choose to stay in that energy that is very confining? Sometimes there's a very clear-cut reason why people do. It's because they feel like, like I said before, they feel like they're doing something to help somebody else, like if there's a sense of duty. But you would be surprised. Sometimes it's not helping that person. Sometimes it's delaying their ability to kind of heal, and enables them to do negative things if they are not treating you properly. What crosses you is the Seven of Swords. This is a card. It can be a card of being stolen from. So I mean, like if you're with a significant other and you want to, live your own life, and then you find out that the joint bank account is cleaned out or something along those lines. But it can also be that someone, if they're this can be a card of infidelity or cheating. If that person is cheating, that it makes you feel like you are trapped, because it brings up all these old negative patterns that might think you're not deserving of your freedom and your ability to live life on your own terms. Also, in the Emperor can be a father. It can also be, to me, like an autocratic kind of a boss. And the Seven of Swords can be feeling like you can't break free of that arrangement, that employment, in a way that is going to make it so that you don't get punished for it. In other words, because I was talking about this in another reading, the Seven of Swords, if you read it as an upright card, can be like you find a clever way to extricate yourself from a situation. Because the swords are your mind, your thoughts, your communication. And being able to kind of like leave a situation without letting the other person know that you've left is the best way a lot of times, because other people, sometimes they're vindictive and they want to kind of punish the person who dares to leave them, because they feel rejected and all of that. So you may feel like you can't find a way to do this, to break free from this. But that doesn't mean that you can't. What's coming in is the Empress card. This is a card of love. This is a card of creativity. So when I was seeing this just thinking about this in my own life, I was thinking about how sometimes if you are an artist or a creative person, you may be faced with a lot of stressors of a very um, mundane variety where you're just like, whatever it is, you're trying to pay the bills, you're trying to do this, you're trying to do that. And you feel like you have to put your creative side on hold, or that it is affecting your ability to be creative because you're, so bogged down in these things. So it kind of threatens that sometimes. And really, the way that I see this card is that that can be the way out. There's a saying, the way out is in. So sometimes, people are looking for some outer savior, an outer circumstance is going to free them from some oppressive situation. And really, what they need is to save themselves through whatever it is that is, say, you could say, save yourself by following your bliss, by saying yes to your passions in life. The Empress is about love and art and creativity. And well, it is about creativity. I said art, but I really meant creativity. It's also about children. So some Sages, maybe this is something that you have been resisting, but that you really want. You want to be a mother. This is the Earth Mother. You want to be that person, but you're getting these other kinds of messages. It's so funny because, the swords can be messages, all this noise. But the Fool card, it might even be kind of like, I was going to say revolutionary, to be a stay-at-home mother if you're surrounded by people who are doing the exact opposite. So it's not always what you think when it comes to being unconventional. And then I got this as the outcome card, so that's why I picked another card, and it was the Two of Swords, being at the horns of a dilemma, being in a stalemate. So feeling like there are two things, and I have mentioned that sometimes a person is trying to make a false choice, like they have two options and neither one is really for them, but they are trying to convince themselves of that. But I think also with the Two of Swords that this can be a card of it. This is a card of being at an impasse, meaning that maybe you need to integrate two aspects of your life. So maybe the person who wants to be an artist or wants to do something like with the Fool, it can be anything that's unconventional, but they also have this desire to do something that is more traditional. Do you have to make that kind of choice? Well, I don't think you do. I think you can create your own version of it that works for you. And so it might be like integration, where these things seem very different and hard to kind of connect, but you have to do it. So I picked a clarification card and I got the Six of Cups. This is a card that I believe is associated with Cancer. It's a card of nostalgia. So it can be the past, but it can be, what they call the good old days. So thinking back to times that were very idyllic because they were so simple, the simple pleasures, when life wasn't complicated. We think about childhood, but also maybe there are maybe that, you want to implement that now, that your life it feels way too. Personally, when I see the Empress card with the Six of Cups, I think of someone who maybe has always wanted to be an artist or always was meant to be an artist, but their life took a different turn. And so by choosing to honor this path, you are, it's right down the line from the Fool card. It's like on that column, the middle column. By honoring that, um, you're doing what you came here to do, perhaps. Interestingly, that Seven of Swords that is creating that blockage, if you will, to me, now that I see the whole reading, I think of the person, because sometimes the Seven of Swords can mean that uh, somebody is strategizing what their next move is going to be, but they're doing so in private. They're not like telling everybody, what their plans are. And, I think about the sign of Sagittarius, and it's totally like Sag to kind of tell everybody that, oh, I'm going to do this. I'm starting a new business. I want to, telling everybody your plans and then opening it up for criticism. So maybe that is why you're meeting with resistance, is because, and maybe self-doubt. I mean, I think that's a big one with the Eight of Swords, is because you're putting your business out there instead of like doing things in behind the scenes, and then letting people know after you've already launched, or maybe even a month or two or three after you've launched. You don't even have to tell them after you've launched, because until you feel like you've established some kind of rhythm, and maybe you're turning a profit and you feel like you can do it. And I'm not talking about on a large scale, but just something where you feel like you're not insecure anymore. It's not like this fragile little flower that's beginning to shoot, but it's something that you've really you feel like you've grown some strong roots with it. Then you can tell other people. But anyway, that might be preventing you from doing it. But think about that. And this is also the soulmate card. So in terms of relationships, if you feel trapped in a relationship, think about how much more trapped it feels to be with somebody that you're not in alignment with than it is to kind of open yourself up for that, life partner. Whether it's technically a soulmate or not is not really as important as just being with somebody who you really are on the same page with. So with that, I will wave my magic wand again. I've been enjoying, and say, I hope you enjoyed this, Sag. If you'd like a private reading, I'm promoting my double astrological readings called my deep dive readings. An hour of natal chart analysis, an hour of transits for the next 12 months for a special price. I have those readings as standalone readings, and I have other standalone readings like love readings and career readings. You can find out more information at the link below. I'm at rainamoonastrology.com. Thanks for watching. Bye.